fragrance. And we have another brand, a new brand to my ears, House of Gadon, and we're here with Patrick, the owner, the perfumer. I always have a lot of respect for people who started from nowhere with their brands, and also they're the perfumers.
Right.
How are you today, Patrick?
Very well, thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Ali.
Glad to meet you too.
Awesome.
So if you could tell us a little bit about your brand, like a little background or history.
All right, I'm Patrick. I'm the creative director and founder of Gadon, New York. We go under the social handle House of Gadon. I actually am the in-house perfumer, and we like to tell life stories through scent. At the core of our philosophy are three words: dress, enhance, charm. I strongly believe, I happen to actually have a strong fashion background. I strongly believe that you're not completely dressed without that final flourish, that invisible accessory. So it's in fact, I can understand why people would wear clothes and not finish with a fragrance.
Exactly.
And like I said, dress, enhance, charm. We believe after the outfit, the whole idea is to enhance your mood with the final accessory.
Exactly.
And that's where the charm comes into bear. And by charm, our concept of charm is kind of understated. It's not supposed to be like in your face. It's supposed to be like a more subtle form
Yes.
of charm, charisma. And we never like to shock with our fragrances. We like our fragrances to have that uniqueness, intimacy.
And
Yes,
it's like slowly growing,
yes.
slowly building up to
Absolutely.
your liking.
We want every fragrance you wear to be unique to you.
Also, I feel like for a loud fragrance, sometimes the fragrance wears you instead of you wearing the fragrance.
Like you come into a room and the fragrance,
It's like,
announces.
it's like 10 steps up in front of you.
Yeah. I feel like your personality should shine,
And it's a background that shines with it.
Exactly.
That's a really, really good philosophy.
And so every time I'm creating a fragrance, I always
You're
have that at the
thinking of
back
it.
of my mind. And I always want to be unique.
Awesome.
Telling my story, that's why I don't like to look at fragrances from a purely notes perspective. I want to tell a story. For instance, Love in Soho, it was built out of the whole inspiration was actually a love theme. The love for the heart of Soho. Think of the elements, think graffiti, think cobblestones, so pretty much trying to capture
Capture the
this,
place.
yes,
Yeah.
in essence, the soul,
Yes.
my own interpretation of the soul of Soho.
This is a very beautiful scent. So,
Thank you.
Walk us through how many fragrances you have in this, in your line, in your fragrance
Currently,
line.
we have 5 fragrances. We have 2 collections. The first collection, which I call the Legacy Collection, that's our heritage collection.
Okay.
We have Love in Soho,
All right.
Spirit Sublime, Fleur de l'Abbé, and Grand Odyssey. They're all of eau de parfum strength.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
and-
what's the oil concentration for this one?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. Because at the end of the day, we always believe that we're trying to find a magic,
exactly,
right? But
yes.
of course, to be in the eau de parfum,
Bracket.
the bracket, you need at least a minimum of a percentage.
Exactly.
So it could fluctuate depending on what I'm trying to convey.
Yes.
Because the magic is more important to me than
That
than-
is
yes.
very true,
Yeah,
but
because
you're-
sometimes you lose an essence trying to be very strong.
Exactly. Or you're sometimes just, I feel like sometimes a lot of people just think, oh, how many percentage of oil is in this thing?
Exactly.
And that's not the case when it comes to fragrances. Not because you have more concentration means it lasts longer or smells better.
Exactly, because it all depends on the mix of
Exactly.
the
That is
notes.
very true. Like the blend, the harmony, the orchestration of everything. And yes.
Absolutely. So yes,
And
well
also,
said. So talking about the concentration, that is why we're not so, but we just always try to be in the eau de parfum
yes.
range. So you could escalate anything from 15% to about almost 20.
Oh,
But
that's great.
we never, because when it becomes too strong, you also lose the diffusion. You lose, somebody has to come probably close to you for to experience,
Yes,
a
exactly.
sense. So we have not come out with an extract yet.
Yet.
Yeah, but who knows? If we
Exactly.
find that extract that really appeals to us, hey, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll
That
do that
is
with the
very
second
true.
collection, because this was
And
almost extract
and
level.
they do have a latest release called Ambre
Privé,
Privé,
yes.
which is this one
Absolutely.
right in here. Could you talk a little bit more about this
Oh
one?
yes, yes. If you look at the name Ambre Privé, pretty much, the word privé in fragrance industry, actually it's cliche, but privé actually for me is just private.
Yes,
So
private Amber
it's
Private.
private amber. This was the whole idea was, I like amber, but I wanted an amber that's intimate. I wanted to express amber my way, the way I want amber to smell.
So I smelled this earlier when I got here, and I'm a huge amber kind of person, but I'm very picky with my amber fragrances. And this one right here is just so well blended. And he is right, it's not in your face, it's very smooth. It's just transitioned so well through my skin, and I just love this fragrance right here.
Awesome. That means we did something right.
There's also no, like a fruitiness, kind of like a bergamot on
Yes.
top of it, a burst, and there's a little bit of woody notes
Absolutely,
for the
yes.
dry down. It's
Yes.
very beautiful. I feel
Somebody
like-
actually caught the orange note.
Oh,
Because,
orange blossom, is it?
Actually, not orange blossom, as in orange zest.
Oh, orange
Think of
zest.
orange zest, right? And the beauty of this amber is the infusion of chocolate.
Oh, this
So-
is so beautifully made.
So almost touching gourmand territory. Almost.
It is
but not
almost.
quite.
It's like almost at the cusp of it.
Right.
And a lot of people is actually a little bit intimidated with the amber notes because it's like too warm or sometimes too out there. But this one is a good introduction for those of you who would want to try amber fragrances. It's called Ambre Privé. So,
Awesome.
Patrick, what could we expect in the future for House of Gadon?
Oh yeah, good question. I tell you, I'm coming soon. Watch out.
Coming
I'm
soon.
coming with a few fragrances under the black label. This is actually the first black
Okay.
label, and we're hoping to do a set of 3, but we'll see how that goes.
Is it going to be this year?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
I hope to do at least 2 more before the year is
Could
over.
we get
so-
a hint of where it's leaning toward?
Oh wow!
Sorry, I'm just making things hard for
I
him.
like your question. It's funny, right? Because I don't want to give it away, but think coffee.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah, but
All right.
coffee done,
Elevatedly classy. Yes.
and that's why it's taking a little bit of time to come up with it. But hopefully we'll get it right. And
I'm sure you will
because
get it
It will
right.
be my interpretation of a coffee.
Awesome.
A coffee.
I know I said last question, but I swear this is the last
Oh,
question.
please.
How is it for you? How's the Black Owned Fragrance Week treating you?
Oh,
How-
I tell you, it's phenomenal. Just being in the midst of passionate creators and artists, I see it as a privilege, and I like the fact that we're a community.
we are a community.
And I tell you,
It's just so nice and
yes,
warm and
yes,
high.
yes, and I have tremendous respect for other creatives. I've just stumbled across a couple of companies that I wasn't even familiar,
Yes.
but this has, gotten us,
And I'm sure your connection will grow bigger and bigger from here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Travolia, Travolia has just
thank
been.
you so much for organizing this Travolia.
Yes, Travolia.
We appreciate you.
Yes, yes,
So
I
you
tell
can find House of Gadon in Instagram.
Oh, yes.
If you could just plug
Yes,
it.
House of Gadon. We go by
Do
at
you have
House
any
of Gadon.
TikTok?
Oh, not yet. But
Okay.
I think we should join
And how are we able to buy your fragrances?
Oh,
Any
yes.
website?
Online. That's gadoninc.com. www.gadoninc.com.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you
online.
so much,
Thank
Patrick,
you so
for
much,
your
Ali. It's
time
been
and for bringing out amazing fragrances here in this community. We appreciate
It's been an
you.
absolute pleasure.
And nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Thank you.